This year it was wheat. And
Rehan Khan is no stranger to the farm life. He was a farmer and worked in agricultural science in Pakistan for 2 decades. For him, starting a farm in Canada was the natural move, but he warns other newcomers it's not easy.
Unfortunately, in the very beginning, couldn't find so much information for this thing. But later, now I know everything. Now I know, how to buy something, from where to buy, where will be get the less price.
Khan hopes it's easier for future migrants, especially since he and others are a key part of Canada's farming future. A recent report shows 40% of Canadian farmers will retire within 10 years. There's also an expected shortage of 24,000 farm, nursery, and greenhouse workers. To fill the gap, researchers say Canada needs 30,000 immigrants who can either start up their own operations or take over existing ones. One solution? Make it easier for experienced temporary foreign workers to become permanent residents.
We're also talking about radically new forms of agriculture, like the explosion of the greenhouse industry over the last, say, 20 years. They need a workforce year-round. So the very notion of a temporary migrant worker that comes in simply for the growing season doesn't really even make sense.
This is not a cheap industry. In many areas, $1 million budget won't even buy a small farm. So some newcomers are frozen out from the get-go.
We get lots of calls of people who are eager to start, but there's that gap there between what they can afford and what they're actually going for.
There are provinces like Saskatchewan that have programs specifically to attract ag-focused immigrants to the sector. There is also a federal pilot project which speeds up the permanent resident process for farm-focused newcomers, but that ends in May.
This year I did basically this soil sampling. And
Khan wants to see organized local advice for newcomers on everything from machinery rentals to hauling grain.
all these things should be considered not only for the immigrant but for the agency, for the immigration department who wants to get farmers in over here.
Khan hopes to build a house on this land to truly make Canada his family's home. Sam Sampson, CBC News, near Yorkton, Saskatchewan.